the elemental play. 30th November, 1979. It is the pleasure of two that is the cause of this birth, this body, and the result is lifelong suffering for someone. Only the rare one comes here. The Guru shows him the result of his pleasure. He shows him a mirror that reflects the true picture. For a jnani, death is the highest pleasure. As soon as consciousness stirs, the mind creates the universe. Creation is prakriti. Purusha consciousness and prakriti nature, as such, have no name or form. This body has a feeling that the end is coming. I know that the body is the essence of the five elements. The five elements are always in flux in relation to one another. The body results from the essence of them. The individual considers the body to be his own. We think that we see with our ears and eyes, but what really sees and hears is beingness. The five elements never die. If you identify with your body, you are sinning and you will suffer at the time of death. The center of consciousness is the crest of your head. The quintessence of the five elemental activity is consciousness, and quintessence knows no death. Beingness is not a personality. Understand beingness and death. Finally, you, the Absolute, are not the beingness. The five elements are constantly at war in you and everywhere. Conflict is incessant. Space is at war with air, air with fire, fire with water, water with earth, and so forth. And all these are expressed in the body. The interaction of four elements results in their subsiding into the earth. Then we have vegetation and food species. We have individual formations. The elemental conflict is expressed in the human body, and the human being says, "My bad luck." The four elemental interactions subside in the womb of the earth. Out of the juice of vegetation came the species, but the forms embraced their identity. Thus we have 85 million species. That's the story of this earth. One who cognizes this principle, what would be his quality? One who understands consciousness will be beyond consciousness, beyond the five elements. He at death becomes an ocean of bliss. Others who take themselves to be body-mind will undergo a traumatic experience of suffering. Mind-body identification is the result of bliss of just a fraction of a second. Contrast the jnani's pleasure to that of the pleasure of two. Saint Janiswara wrote a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, Janiswari. Then he wrote, Amruta Anubhava, experience of immortality. Mrit, death, Amrita, no death, bottomless ocean of bliss. The five elements and three gunas are creating havoc in the universe. But how is a jnani affected by all this? Having recognized this elemental play, he has transcended it. This business of looking and the looked, an observer and the observed will go and nothing will remain. Just be quiet. Don't get disturbed, and let the mind be. On which principle will there be a dent? Only time, and time will disappear. The one who observes change, can he change? Only the changeless can see the change. No beingness. 1st December, 1979. My beingness was not there. It has appeared and it is temporary. I have no control over it. I cannot be a customer to what God has to give. Let him be great. I am not interested. Knowledge cannot be given to all. One loses interest. If you lose interest, even the world stops existing. It is because of the chemical beingness the sattva guna, that photographs are taken and accordingly that entity grows. All activities are mechanical, so everything happens as per plan. I am talking in relation to what? On what is it supported? It is the beingness. After beingness departs, there is no beingness, which is eternal. There is no knowledge, no God, no Iswara. What can I talk? Beingness will disappear. I always prevail in no beingness. From no beingness, beingness appears. I should know myself how it happened. Some people praise me. I am like a mountain. I know that nothing exists. Names and forms are categories. Nothing good or bad can happen to anyone. It has never happened before, nor will it ever happen, so why bother? Form and beingness have happened unknowingly, or else how would I have entered the dirty place for 9 months? Even if a rat is dead, one runs away. People talk of spiritualism. In the process, they exclude their core self. Stay put in yourself and talk. Investigate about yourself. The Absolute is eternal, a no-beingness state, and real. Beingness is temporary, and with it appear the 5 elements and so on. No beingness, nothing. Nothing can give you company in this world on a permanent basis. People will have many memories, some happy, some annoying. On me, the impact is nil. The Brahma Aperture, 4th December, 1979. In deep sleep, nothing is. Try to catch that in the waking state. My thinking now is towards 5 elements. Whichever way I think, I conclude all forms are the creations of 5 elements. Forms with 3 gunas act in different ways. The basic guna is sattva. Prakriti and Purusha are starting points, the creator of 5 elements. There is awareness in the Brahma Aperture, which is talking. The Shuddha, pure sattva, like a drop of ghee. Clarified butter is the Brahma Aperture. That small drop contains the picture of the whole universe. Each one's intellect is different, so the power of intellect differs. Understanding differs. The primary nature of consciousness is not to remain constant. Objects keep on changing. When the mind stops, there is no mind. The very nature of consciousness is to change. But you think one thing, then the very next second something different. If the consciousness becomes steady, it will be awareness. The words, including nama-rupa, name and form, cannot have by their very nature any steadiness. Even ideas about yourselves are bound to change. Give me an idea of what you consider as yourself. You cannot. It changes. Mind does not speak to personality. It is its creation. Mind speaks to mind. Boyfriend, girlfriend, and so on. All are movements in consciousness. At that point of consciousness where one's mind realizes the I am, I amness, the word, breath, and mind is one. I go to some place, sit and think and form opinions. All is mind, its movements. The Brahma Aperture is sattva, harmony, and the mind is its result. Sattva created the world. The mind is also its product. When the sattva movement stops, mind disappears and people say, he is dead. But the knower says, I am not consciousness, mind, or sattva. I am apart from the elements and their products. All that is seen is of 5 elements. However high an entity may be, he is the end product of 5 elements. Where are the individuals or avatars after death? The mind, the word, name, and form have no independent existence apart from the five elements. For me there is no death and birth, for the mixture of five elements, their essence, their products, the forms. The starting point is Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha and Prakriti have no forms, so how can they be destroyed? In fact, it is Mula Maya, the root cause of the illusion. When consciousness begins to stir, the forms and the universe arise, and these are my own body. From a tiny drop of sattva arises the entire universe. Is my own body and world in that sattva? I refuse to accept. How can it be? It's a lie. There is the body, so I suffer, you say. There is the world. How can it all be an illusion? But the mind is a concept. All words are movements in consciousness, hence false. When you see the false as false, the mind settles down and disappears. There are different human races and creeds. Each praises and denigrates the others. All these are movements in consciousness, emanating from non-beingness. My beingness sees false as false, therefore. I do not comment on them. Anything that you acquire, even knowledge, is false, zero. Try to transcend the knowledge. Only sometimes a rare one at the time of death will realize that he is not the body. The body disintegrates in the fire and mingles with the five elements. Brahman is a concept because it is not going to be in my association for long. Just for a short period, as long as there is the beingness, there is the world. For the one who realizes the departure of beingness, there is bliss. The ignorant get involved with beingness. Hence there is traumatic suffering for them. All is suffering, the waking, deep sleep, and dream states, the five elements and three gunas. Realize this and get rid of suffering. The ignorant one dies while the one who understands is liberated. The mind must sing the I am without words. Be liberated. If you think that you have acquired knowledge and that is your achievement, then you are still far from self-knowledge. This I Am Business, 5th December 1979. There is a customer for everything, but what is the cause of your beingness being the customer? The primary concept is the I Am, out of which are created all other concepts. You have come from the primary concept. So long as you have the need to be, you have this prolific, wonderful world and all the gods are available. The distinction between the world and Brahman has come because you want to sustain your beingness, the I Am. The manifest world is made important by you because you want to be. But when the need for beingness is not felt, like in sleep or in short, when consciousness is not conscious, there is no need. When consciousness is there, it will always need consciousness when consciousness is not there. Where's the need for anything at all? Of what use is the availability of the world? The world and its Lord are only a nuisance in my state. The need to be is bondage. No needs, no bondage. I will not be stupid and ask how I am in the absence of consciousness. There can be no talk about the state prior to consciousness. In the realm of consciousness are the experiences and all the talk. The one who has recognized, understood, and transcended oneself can talk. Otherwise one is caught in the pincer movement of Maya. You are caught by your own tentacles, identification with the body pincer. Because of your own deception, you ask questions. You are caught and enmeshed in more and more concepts. Information about myself in the absence of consciousness nobody can tell me. I also don't need it. Since that is so, you are nonplussed by me. I have full knowledge prior to beingness, which is eternal. In the waking state there is struggle and fatigue. In deep sleep there is relaxation. It is a cycle. What is the purpose? To maintain consciousness? What is beyond it? Whatever without it, consciousness is perfect. Only that is, nothing else. My body is universal, not individualistic. What is this I am business? Understand it and be apart from it. Transcend it. Just be. Where has Maharaj's ego gone? It is not individualistic. It is manifestable, and when it is manifest, it is no more an individual suffering. What is the use of self-realization? Nishkam, stable, Parabrahman. When you are hit by pain, the doctor gives you an ointment. Who is the customer? Pain is the customer, not you. Does the pain go? It is just an event happening. Understand it and go through it. The I consciousness is pain as well as happiness. You wake up happy in the morning. As the day goes by, there is unhappiness. Without I consciousness, can you understand anything? The I consciousness is unhappiness, therefore you seek happiness. That which you do with effort is unhappiness. Even now, I am speaking from deep sleep, so it is coming from sleep. I have enjoyed it, so to speak. Sleep is darkness, complete. That is ignorance. In the darkness, ignorance, I speak. Knowledge from ignorance is ignorance. This knowledge is an illusion. A child born of ignorance says, I am Brahman. Who is doing this? That is the trap of the mind. If you do not experience your mind, you are liberated. Why do you call anything logical? Waking and sleep states are your experience. You don't accept what I say, because in doing so, you are nothing. In reality, nothing can be given and taken. Call it logic experience. Take it as you like. Here acceptance and rejection are transcended. Parents have given you a name. Apart from that, can you give me your name or identification? The Atman is formless. Names and forms are of the body. Consciousness is also an illusion. Non-personal, non-verbal. The moment you do not recognize mind and body, you feel no pinch. Can you say the sky is diseased? Food contains both the useful and the waste, so what is good or what is bad is relative. Flowers are eventually dirt, but while buying, they cost 50 rupees. I don't discuss Brahman or Maya. I tell you my story, which is your story as well. With Atmajnana, self-knowledge, the I consciousness is not there. Then I don't worry about God or illusion. The I am is the starting point of both misery and happiness. A Kohinoor Diamond, 7th December 1979. As a seeker, you are told that you are not the body-mind, though you are in the body, but you are knowledge. So we see this all-pervasive knowledge in everything. Body, man or woman, has form, but consciousness has no form. One who considers himself to be a man or woman is not a seeker. Seeker is the one who seeks knowledge. Prior to the appearance of form in the womb, foodstuffs take the form I am, and that appears in 9 months. With birth, the bodily functions begin. The child does not know that it is. As the child begins to identify, the sense of I amness takes shape. Only then the mother can teach the misleading headings, like body name and so forth. Prior to the waking or sleep state is the Parabrahman. The state which gives you knowledge is Brahman. The need for knowledge differs from man to man. Intellectuals have no time for all this. People who got knowledge were simple people. Is it decided at birth? Knowledge being ignorance is also ultimately not required. Your womb being not clean, you entertain fear. When in the womb for 9 months, only the knowledge that you are is there, nothing beyond it. In the womb knowledge is there, but it is dormant. In this lighter I am holding up, the flame is dormant. Does the lighter know the flame? What do you consider yourself to be? If you take yourself to be the body, you are involved. If you take yourself to be knowledge, there is no involvement. Somebody provoked the guru in you. It is that guru that receives knowledge and is the one that speaks. Isn't it possible to pretend that one is the absolute? More important is to get rid of the body-mind sense instead of trying to be the absolute. The rest will happen. After the realization of self, everything happens. Then there is no question of getting involved or not. But can one experience qualitative changes before and after? Whatever you presume to be will be buried. Whatever I am talking to will abandon the body and disappear. To start with, you are that principle which abandons the body and runs away. Second step, identify with that principle which quits the body. Third step, jhana, recognizes this godly state and transcends. I repeat, the principle abandoning the body is godly, full of knowledge. Highest is the one who recognizes this godly principle and transcends it. This principle, which quits the body, because of involvement with the body, presumes that it is going to die. Actually, the body also has no death. It has life in association with beingness. Without beingness, it is a dead rat. You are that principle which abandons the body. Thereafter, who are you? The body or that principle? So where is the question of nursing that principle? Is the manifest world real? You make a mountain of a molehill. Is it real? Here is the world, and you are told to behave accordingly, and time passes by. Get to know your true identity, and everything will be clear. All the scriptures are addressed to the mind, while I am talking of finding out what you truly are. The root of the world is absolute ignorance, only ignorance. Nevertheless, you follow codes to happily pass your time. Miseries come with attachment, become entire, total, and then there is no misery. Inquiring about the illusion is to go in search of a child born of a barren woman. So your whole life will not be enough to find it. People go to the moon. They search for the end of the cosmos. Life of Brahman, too, is an illusion. There is the end of the cosmos. The illusion, Maya, sends you to find the cosmic boundary. See its mischief? It does not send you to the center. In deep sleep, you awaken and cry out. Who creates the illusion? It's consciousness. I woke up. You are the basic illusion. You are married to beingness. Whatever the outcome, you will know that beingness itself is an illusion. Honestly, the knowledge you are is the most dishonest principle. You are married to Brahman. I plant you in the beingness that you are. Then you may go. Understand yourself, and all the riddles will be solved. I am giving you a capital. Invest in it. Investigate and find the truth. Investigate the self. Is the dream world real or unreal? The incident I awoke is itself unreal. Similarly, is your beingness real or unreal? Even when you think you are, is that too not a concept? All along I was telling Joseph to go, but now I say wait and record. After my departure, publish a book, and people will ask, did you come across such a man? A Kohinoor diamond?